What is going on, guys? So we got back, biceps, maybe a little bit of rear delts action going on this morning. Doing something a little bit different today. And I decided that because I don't ever really hit rear delts on my pull day, so I decided to do a couple of warm-up sets. Instead of walking 5 minutes on the treadmill to get the blood flowing, decided to do a couple warm-up sets of rear delt flies. Kind of same idea. Get everything flowing, but kind of more directed in the muscle groups that I'm already planning on training. So that was kind of my thought process in going and doing that instead of the treadmill. So far, not too bad. Starting off with lat pull downs, already done 2 warm-up sets, and then just finished up my first working set, which didn't feel too bad. Using a slightly different handle or bar variation that uses a slightly wider, more neutral grip, as opposed to one that's, straight parallel with the hands or angled. See if I can get a little bit better activation in the lats that way. But I'm gonna go ahead, get into set number 2. Goals between 8 to 12 reps. First set was 10. See if I can get another 10. I feel like I just barely got that 10th rep, which was almost taken to failure, because if I would have tried for one more, I think I wouldn't have been able to get it all the way down. So that was actually a really good set. Got one more set to go. I'm gonna see. I'll probably leave it there. And then as long as I can get 8 reps, taking that set to failure, then that'll overall be pretty good for me. So far, give you guys a little bit of an update on how I'm sitting as far as weight goes. And I think I'm down to, I didn't weigh myself this morning, but I weighed myself yesterday, and I weighed in around 196 and a half, so about 7.5 pounds down so far. This is week 6, so with trying to keep up to about a pound a week, that's pretty in line with that, I would say. I'm also a little bit congested, not sick, just congested, so that's kind of throwing me off a little bit too. But gonna rest up a little bit longer here and get into that final set. Let's get into that last set. That was another 10 reps in. A little bit surprising, but I'm not mad about it. So finish up here. Gonna go hit some T-bar row. So we got T-bar row next up, and I decided that I was gonna switch back to using this machine here instead of the one that's actually right next to it, because I feel like this one is much harder, I guess, because of the like free weight aspect of it, whereas the other one kind of just runs on some like silky smooth guides. So like, don't get me wrong, it feels great, but I think it takes a lot of the effort out of it, if that makes sense. Whereas this thing, as soon as you unrack this plate loaded bar, it's just all weight. So it's just, you've got gravity working against you every single rep. And that's not to say that the other one doesn't, just being on those smooth guides, like I said, it definitely feels like it takes some of the effort out of the movement. So going back to these has been a good thing, even if I can't put as much weight on there as I would the other machine. And to be honest, after doing that first set, I typically get around 8 reps of these, and fell just a little bit short on that 8th rep, so I've still got 2 sets of these to go, so I might end up dropping the weight just a little bit, maybe. We'll see if I can stay within that 6 to 8 reps on this, and then if I'm, this next set, if I'm barely hitting 6-7 reps, then I'll drop the weight. Yeah, so like that set there, just barely hit 8. So I'm gonna drop it just a little bit, or not even 8, 6. I definitely meant to say 6 reps. Got 6 reps on that last set. So I did drop the weight by 10 pounds. See if I can't get 8 reps of this. Eight reps. That was a good set. It's exactly what I wanted to do. What my intended target rep was, and I only had to drop it 10 pounds. So, all in all, not a bad set. We got some hammer curls coming up next. So I'm gonna unload this and then I'll grab a seat. So for these hammer curls, I've decided to do a slightly different variation than I'm used to doing, where I'm just seated in, you know, like a regular bench seat, with the weight kind of, you know, free hanging by my side. Try doing them on this preacher bench, and this one is nice. So this pad here is actually, you can adjust the angle of it. Now I already did one set, and I can already tell a noticeable difference in how strict I'm basically forced to keep my my arm, my bicep working, where it's basically in a fixed position, can't go anywhere because it's resting against the pad. So it's not like, you know, when it's resting beside you, you do have a little bit of like momentum or like swinging motion that you can get in there, even if it's not intentional. This thing here takes all of that out of the equation with fixing the back of your arm or your tricep against this pad here. Not only that, but like with that first set, I will say I noticed I wouldn't say it was like very significant, but I did notice, or was a more noticeable stretch in the stretched position than if they were just, you know, sitting at my side. So I'll probably continue with this. Another thing I'll notice is the weight, also the weight loading, because it is the much stricter form, does feel slightly heavier, because you're kind of, you know, forced to use the target muscle instead of recruiting other muscles to help you get the weight up. So you're going to go into set number 2. Probably stay with this same weight. Usually I would go up to like the 45s or something, but I'm going to stick with the 40s. See if I can't hit at least 8 reps. First set was 10. This set, if I can get another 10 reps, great, but I'll take 8. All right, take 9. Nine is good. That burn is like nothing else. Comparatively speaking, of course. Only other movement that I would say is that level of burn in the biceps is definitely those my incline curls that I do, or yeah, I guess like incline seated curls, where I set the bench up at an incline and do curls with shoulder kind of behind, curling like so. those usually burn pretty good, but this is different in a good way, of course. I'm gonna do one more set of this, and then got some sets of single arm cable rows to get through. Then go to those incline curls like I was just talking about. That'll be basically it for the workout. And then on the past few weeks, maybe 3-ish weeks, 4 weeks, on my pull day at the end of the workout, I've been incorporating some ab work too. So do some cable crunches at the very end, and then try to finish off with at least 20 minutes, between 20 and 25 minutes of cardio. This is going to be the last set. I'm really just looking for 8 reps at this point. Another good thing about these is even if I could basically go past failure because I've got my other hand to help me get the weight up, and then I control the negative on the way down. Come on. Yep, just like that. Just like that. Alright, that was a good set. Let's go get into those cable rows. So I've definitely got some fatigue setting in. I just finished up my first set on the single arm cable rows, and it felt quite a bit more challenging than it usually does. So typically I would start at 60, get like 10, 12 reps for both sets. And like even just 1-2 reps in, I was like, nah, this is feeling heavy. My lats and everything else are super fatigued already from everything else. So it's like, no, just gonna roll with the 50s, or with the 50, try and stay within 10 to 12 reps. That's exactly what I did. Even that, for being lighter, or slightly lighter, still was a bit of a challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this last set on these, and then we just got curls left. no more back movements. Just got these incline curls left and the crunches, and we're done. So incline curls is the last movement of the workout. Already set in, and feeling the fatigue in the biceps as well after doing those hammer curls on that preacher bench. Definitely feeling that translate over to these incline curls. Another thing I started doing differently is, because Saturday is typically my full upper body day, and I usually do, one variation for triceps, one variation for biceps. And I've decided to switch that over to, instead of doing the incline curls both on my pull day and my upper day, I've decided to do a regular, easy bar on a preacher bench, just to add a little bit more variation to the exercises that I'm doing. Slightly different load on the muscle groups. Obviously that can add up to benefits in overall development, instead of doing the same thing every single time. That's great. You can do the same thing at a set on a set day, and then progressively overload from there. But I think it's also beneficial to have a alternate movement on a separate day that's not going to affect your main lift day, that you can also kind of progressively overload on. That makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys watching this as well. We can go ahead, get into this second set, see if I can't land in at least 8 reps. Solid set, 8 reps in. First set was 10. Got one more set to go, and if I can at least get another 8, even if it's somewhat forced for the last set, that'll be perfect. Or at least taking the set to failure. That's going to be the goal for the final set. Last set, see if I can't get another 8 reps. Come on. I definitely cheated on that last set, that last rep to help me get the weight up. I would say that that was definitely taken to failure, considering I couldn't get the weight up on my own anymore. That's going to be a wrap on this one, guys. They still haven't gotten the posing room set up or anything like that, so there's really no good spot in here to check out the pump, do a little posing practice, anything like that. I'm gonna finish off with some ab cable crunches. I've been really liking doing those with like the rope attachment behind the head. Been really liking those lately. I feel like I get a really great like overall engagement in the core. Just finish off with 3 sets of those, and then try and get 20 minutes cardio. If you made it to the end, I do appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.